Image. When people talk about perfection in the world of K-pop and K-dramas, one name always slips into the conversation almost instantly. Cha Eun-woo, the face genius, the visual standard, the man whose looks have been described as almost unreal. But what if I told you that behind that flawless image is a story filled with doubt, pressure, and a moment where he almost gave it all up? Yes, the man who looks like he walked straight out of a webtoon nearly walked away from everything. So let's rewind for a moment. Before the fame, before the screaming fans, before dramas like True Beauty turned him into a global heartthrob, Cha Eun-woo was just Lee Dong-min, a quiet, intelligent boy with a completely different life path in mind. And here's something that surprises a lot of fans. He wasn't chasing fame. In fact, he was chasing something much more normal. Growing up, Eun-woo was known for being extremely smart. Not just school smart, but top-tier academic excellence. He attended one of the most prestigious schools and consistently ranked high in his class. Teachers admired him, friends respected him. His future? It looked like it was headed towards something like law, engineering, or even academia. Now pause for a second. Can you imagine a world where Cha Eun-woo never became an idol or actor? No Astro. No iconic roles. No viral moments. That was almost reality. His journey into entertainment didn't start with a dream. It started with a suggestion. He was scouted by a talent agent who saw something special in him. But here's the twist. Eun-woo didn't immediately jump at the opportunity. He hesitated, because stepping into the entertainment industry meant leaving behind the stable, predictable future he had always known. And this is where things start to get interesting. He eventually joined Fantagio as a trainee. But unlike many trainees who enter with burning passion, Eun-woo entered with uncertainty. He wasn't sure if he truly belonged there. Think about that. Imagine being surrounded by people who have trained their whole lives to perform. People who can sing, dance, and command a stage effortlessly, while you're still trying to figure out if this is even your dream. That was Cha Eun-woo. Training was tough, and not just physically. Yes, he had the visuals that made people stop and stare, but in the world of K-pop, visuals alone aren't enough. Talent, charisma, stage presence, these are things that take years to develop. And Eun-woo knew it. There were moments when he felt like he was falling behind, moments when he compared himself to others, moments when he questioned everything. And here's the part that fans don't talk about enough. Being perfect can actually be a burden. Because when people look at you and only see perfection, they don't always see your struggles. They assume everything comes easy to you. They expect you to always be flawless. For Eun-woo, this created a silent pressure. He once shared that people often focused only on his looks, overlooking his efforts and hard work. And while compliments might seem like a good thing, imagine constantly feeling like your abilities are being doubted. It's frustrating. It's isolating. And over time, it can make you question your place. There were days when Eun-woo reportedly thought about quitting, days when the pressure felt too heavy, days when he wondered if he should just go back to his old life, the life that felt safe, predictable, and certain. Let me ask you something. If you were in his position, what would you have done? Would you have stayed and fought through the uncertainty, or would you have walked away? For Eun-woo, the decision wasn't easy. But something inside him kept pushing forward. Maybe it was curiosity, maybe it was determination, or maybe it was the quiet realization that even if he wasn't the best yet, he could become better. And that mindset changed everything. In 2016, he debuted as a member of Astro. The group brought fresh energy to the K-pop scene, and Eun-woo quickly gained attention, not just for his visuals, but for his growing confidence on stage. But success didn't happen overnight. Astro faced challenges. Like many groups, they had to fight for recognition in a highly competitive industry. There were ups and downs, moments of doubt, and times when the future seemed uncertain. Yet, Eun-woo kept going. And slowly, things started to change. His acting career began to take off. He appeared in dramas, gradually building his skills and proving that he was more than just a pretty face. Then came the turning point. My ID is Gangnam Beauty. This drama wasn't just another project, it was a statement. It tackled issues of beauty standards and self-acceptance, themes that resonated deeply with audiences. And Eun-woo's role? It showed a new side of him, a more emotional, a more grounded, a more relatable Cha Eun-woo. Fans began to see his growth, not just as an idol, but as an actor. And then, boom, true beauty happened. If you've watched it, you already know. If you haven't, where have you been? This drama catapulted Eun-woo into global fame. His portrayal of Lee Soo-ho captured hearts worldwide. Social media exploded. Clips went viral. Fans couldn't stop talking about him. But here's what makes this moment so powerful. This is the same person who once doubted himself, the same person who almost walked away, the same person who felt like he didn't belong. Now let's pause again. Isn't that something? Because it reminds us of something important. The version of yourself you doubt today might be the version the world celebrates tomorrow. Eun-woo didn't suddenly become perfect. He grew, he worked, he endured, and perhaps most importantly, he stayed. But even with all the success, the pressure didn't disappear. In fact, it evolved. As his popularity grew, so did expectations. Every role, every performance, every public appearance, it all came with intense scrutiny. Fans expected excellence. Critics watched closely. And once again, Eun-woo found himself in a familiar place, feeling the weight of expectations. But this time, he was different. He had experience. He had resilience. He had proof that he could overcome doubt. And that made all the difference. He continued to take on new challenges, exploring different roles and pushing himself as an artist. He didn't want to be known only for his looks. He wanted to be respected for his craft. And slowly, that's exactly what happened. Fans began to appreciate his dedication. Critics acknowledged his improvement, and his story became something more than just a success story. It became an inspiration. Now let's make this interactive for a moment. Think about your own life. Have you ever felt like you didn't belong somewhere? Have you ever doubted your abilities because others seemed more talented? Have you ever considered giving up? If your answer is yes, then you and Cha Eun-woo have something in common. Because behind the fame, behind the visuals, behind the perfect image, he's just someone who struggled, doubted, and kept going anyway. And maybe that's the real reason fans can't stop watching his story. It's not just about how he looks. It's about how he persevered. It's about how he turned uncertainty into strength. It's about how he proved that perfection isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, piece by piece, through effort and resilience. So the next time you see Cha Eun-woo on screen, remember this. You're not just looking at a perfect face. You're looking at someone who almost gave up. Someone who questioned his path. Someone who chose to stay when leaving would have been easier. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes his story truly unforgettable. Now tell me, what part of his journey surprised you the most?